They have their own backups too with that Earthshaker, even with the Brewmaster, who is the first pick. And also, let's just be really happy here that we're on the first game of the main stage, and we got an FY Rubik.
We got an FY Rubik.
We got an FY Rubik.
Oh, we do.
And I love when we see like Rubik and Morphling versus each other, because we're gonna see a lot of like, it's not like spell steals, but Morphling kind of has that little like spell steal factor with him as well, right? So we could see like 3 fissures inside of fights definitely coming out into play. So
we may lose track of whose spell is whose. They're going to be thrown out everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And not just sort of the Rubik, the opening to this draft, it felt very sort of old school, right? We're getting like this Rubik tied on one side, this silencer being thrown in by VP, something that we saw them do a few times back in the Epicenter Major and have a lot of success with.
Yeah.
I'm bringing something new, as mentioned on the draft panel, the Brewmaster. Not a hero we've seen yet at this TI. VP, as always, the team that you can expect to do this, they're breaking in with something a little bit different.
Yeah, I agree totally with what they're saying about like trying to break the combo. They see the Tide Hunter picked up early. They're like, all right, Brewmaster, hero traditionally not picked too much, but versus that Tide, you don't have to worry so much about him cracking showing stuff off, because you're probably just going to be searching for him in the fights just to throw him up in the air with that Cyclone of the Wind Panda. So I think the other thing they also went for is what I was talking to teams about, why Brewmaster wasn't really getting picked so much, is because his laning phase is pretty bad right now, is what they all were in consensus with. Earthshaker allows you to kind of skip that, because you're going to fissure block the wave constantly. You're going to set up Pasha to have a much better time. So we'll see if that does play off for VP, as matching the LGD aggression, we've seen these gyrocopters just pop off.
This is a gyrocopter, though, that is going to have to start in the mid lane, and it's going to be against that No One Dazzle, another sort of VP speciality that they brought out at some of the previous DPC events.
Probably pretty good lane for the Dazzle, I'd imagine. Just being able to constantly poke, you have the heal to push the wave in as well, so it can be hard for you to actually secure anything as a gyro because of that here. But they're already going to start with those missiles, of course, trying to secure those range creeps. He's going to be able to get this one. It's the 9.
That was really nicely done by No One. Getting the heal off before the missile connected, so he knew that he would have that time on the range creep to get the deny.
Yeah, very nicely played there. As they had FY sitting mid trying to snipe a courier, so I think that's one of the telltale things, is when they're like, ooh, the matchup might be a little bit difficult for us in the mid lane, so let's try to give you a little bit of an advantage there. Isn't able to get it. He's going to go top to try to help out Chalice. This is what I like to call the damage reduction lane, the Rubik and the Tide Hunter. Throw your Fade Bolt, your Anchor Smash onto the carry. It's going to be very tough for you to get those last hits.
Yeah, on the plus side, at least it's sort of what, a double range lane for VP.
Yes.
So Ramsey's, obviously the Fade Bolt, he can't do much about getting hit by, but the Anchor Smash, you can try and sort of play it around. And eventually he's going to have those spells to be able to nuke the creeps as well.
Yeah, and he still has a silencer backing him up. One of the stronger support heroes, at least zoning these type of heroes out. Tide Hunter, doesn't matter if you have Kraken Shell, because you're just going to be taking those pure damage from those glaives. So
got Roger looking for some action towards the mid. It was sort of spotted out by the ward. Still though, Somna's taking a lot of damage from this move. Will be able to stay alive and get himself back behind the tower, but they've got to be prepared for this these sort of rotations, LGD.
Yeah, he's getting pressured a lot. Only the 2 or 3 last hits right now on the gyrocopter. Versus No One, as we kind of felt it would be, right? That Dazzle pick, that's why they wanted to have it versus this mid lane gyrocopter. Still having Roger kind of chilling around the area.
It's just such a strong lane. They have the offensive potential with a poison touch, and these heals, as you've seen, if you're not used to it, even if you are, even if you're at the top of your game, these heals will throw you off getting those range CS.
Absolutely. So Pasha, we see he's starting to struggle, of course, because Roger's making those moves around the map. So he's just going to look to pull some creep waves, get chased out by X-Nova quite a bit here, as this Ogre who's just going to punch him. But full free farm, importantly for Ame. That's the one we're looking at. The Sven is getting no pressure on him whatsoever.
Oh, bit of a lift back onto Solo, dragging him into the creep wave. FY! He'll set up for first blood. Solo stepping a little too far forward.
It's an FY Rubik. It's game 1 of the main stage. He wants the first blood.
Could be the beginning of a bit of an FY highlight reel, depending on how this game goes. But definitely the fact that Sven is starting well, as you say, this is what BSJ talked about. He was worried about LGD. If they can get that Gyro and Sven off to a good start, it's going to be very tough for VP to sort of hold the game off to the point where Morph is able to come to the fights and really utilize the flak without being run over.
Ooh, look at FY doubling up the wave there nicely for Chalice, making Ramsey's also farm under the tower as well. Some nice moves around here by FY, just building those up. He's just dancing around.
He is. And obviously, what the VP do, they can start to walk Solo over, but FY...
He's got a TP available.
Yeah, he can... I mean, he's
dead.
He's taking way too much damage. He's going to head up to the tower, but Solo, he's going to be around for the XP on that one.
Didn't get the in.
What was the plan there from FY? He's just trying to double stack the creep so they push into the Tide on the top?
Yeah, I think he wants Chalice to be diving under Ramsey just like this, putting the pressure on him, not letting him to just free farm under the tower. Obviously, not wanting to die there, but it's not the biggest loss. Sure, Solo gets some gold there for himself, but you see Chalice is getting having a great time, and look at that. Look at this wave. That's a triple range creep coming in now. So that's going to be a very happy Tide Hunter. So I think VP, they should take advantage of this, though. I think you want to maybe even rotate Roger up top, and you try to set up here for trying to like push. Do not let this Tide Hunter get that creep wave off of the tower. And look at this. This is really going to... This could actually chunk the tower down a lot. So Chalice, he has the skill of Gush, but he has the skill point in Gush, but no mana just yet. And Roger is making the move over.
And he's got that arcane range, so it's likely that he's going to get the chance to get a couple of fishes out. So we'll see the opening. In they go, collapsing in onto Chalice. TP over will be coming through from the Ogre. They're blocking Chalice off. FY's there with the new cut to Ramsey, but Ramsey starts to shift, turns towards FY, has to wait for him out over towards the trees and out of there. Chalice still alive. PSG LGD will be able to keep Chalice safe with the support rotation. They're still trying to poke. In fact, Chalice, he's come back up. The curse is on it. Chalice will still end up going down. Now VP turning their attention over towards X-Nova. They're going to try and chase for another. The Fate Ball from FY will come out.
There's just too many creeps. They clipped the wave under the tower too, so they just continue diving forward.
Yeah, those stacked up creeps working against PSG LGD there in that sense. And in fact, VP, they're still poking and they're still fighting. PSG LGD is trying to come back in for the rune contest, but VP's already picked it up. Be able to grab that one in the top one. Meanwhile, down bottom, Arme does continue to get all the space in the world, enough space himself to head over and grab those 2 bounty runes for the team.
He's going to be the full free farm. The other one, though, if you look at the mid lane, look at that Dazzle. 31 and 10 to the 18-3.
This is the power.
He has really done a great job in this matchup here. They're even trying to fix this right now with a gank setup, but there's not level 6 yet on that gyrocopter, so no call down available. TP is at the ready. Roger's already prepared for this. He's actually smoking himself alone to try to catch something here, and he breaks this.
He sees the entire movement, sees the 2 supports in the river as the smoke breaks, and no one is going to be very, very safe and sound. They cannot get that surprise movement onto him.
Pasha dropping low from the cleave. Be careful not to step up too far. A couple more hits and a stun, and he probably can go down here. Pasha.
Oh,
He actually stepped up.
Oh, no. Pasha getting a little shaky on the main stage. We saw some of those deaths from Pasha in the group stage.
Yeah. If
I'm sure the team would have hoped that it sort of left those behind, but
he did get the Drunken Brawler off before the attack, so it was like a 50-50 chance, but still.
But you shouldn't play for that sort of RNG. That's not good odds. Do also managed to get the courier here, VP, so taking that one down from LGD and getting that gold bonus.
They were actually able to finish. I saw Roger chasing it with illusions, but wow, he was actually good to chase it and finish it. That's a bit surprising there, LGD, getting caught off guard. Still farming very well, as we were saying.
Arme's, especially with that kill, this Sven lane has just gone better to better.
Yeah, how's their stacks looking? Looks like they're starting to prepare them. Both FY and Xnova will start to do those for the Sven and the Gyro. Both of them can benefit a lot from that, as we probably expect Somnus, though, to be the one who's going to be running around more so as this Gyro ganking while Ame just farms. But Ame's off to such a great start. And immediately starts pressuring Pasha as well.
And Pasha really does have to be careful.
He's doing pretty well, though. Like, the Church Gold, it's not the greatest, but he's kind of tied with the Gyrocopter, and actually Tanner, so it's pretty decent, but levels. It's almost a level 6 Brewmaster. So in this game, the Brew has a lot of different potential he can do. Has to be careful of some steals later on from the Rubik. You can cover it pretty easily with your Brawler, but he can dispel the Bloodlust, he can dispel the Warcry, throwing up that Tide Hunter, as we talked about as well. Going to be very important for that VP side's team fights. That's Pasha. Making an invasive play here. Not quite level 6, pretty close to it as well.
He's going to get surrounded.
Get surrounded here.
Well, the 3 of them after going for the high ground. He has got no one by his side. So we'll be able to walk away. No point shed, of course, in the grave. Fully offensive. No one with a skill build at the moment.
As expected. He's also queued up the book, which we also seem to expect pretty much every single time on the core Dazzles. The one thing is, though, they do have great ways to farm that book. So I think no one does have to be careful when he is like pushing out waves and farming with these, because Gyrocopter and Sven, they eat that book very easily whenever it is going to be used, if it's not inside of just a farming position in the jungle. Solo. is spotted on his warding expedition. He's looking in some trouble.
He's got a lot of backup coming in as well, Armate. They should be able to slow this one down. Missiles out. Fisher block from Roger.
Very nicely done.
Will actually shut the play down. They won't be able to chase.
And this is them all bringing the attention away from Ramses. He's able to just get all these free last hits top now, landing alone versus Chalice. Just keeps turning into the Tide Hunter, throwing some gushes and anchor smashes onto him, then shits back to his form. As LGD, they're playing the farm game. You can just tell from the way they're setting up for all this, getting all these stacks prepared. And now they'll give FY the lane, as Almay will just jungle it up. Next Nova will sap that experience. And it looks like VP, they want to get on the aggressive side here. They want to make the move bottom. They see that the Rubik is farming the lane, so they're like, all right, Sven's jungling, we have to put pressure on. Don't let this Rubik just keep fade bolting the wave and getting all this farm. So this looks like they're going to just surround and go for this tier 1, as we expect that LGD will probably do the same on the other side of the map, probably going for the mid tower or that top. Still will be the mid. So a little bit of mirror movements coming into play here from both sides.
We'll see who's able to start the fight first as Armate. Close to no one starts to poke. Roger will get the wraparound. They've been blocked up, kept on the high ground. There's the ult from Pasha. They're ready to run them down. They're straight away on top of the gyrocopter. Somnus, he's in trouble. They've taken him out. The rest of LGD will be able to get away, but again, Roger blocking off the entire team with that Fisher. They're even going to be able to look to chase Arme a little bit, but the split will end. They won't push it any further. Still though, great defense from VP.
Yep. Bringing Pasha there. Roger, again, being in the right place at the right time. So far, Roger on point with his Earthshaker rotations in this start, these first 10 minutes. Only level 3, as he's been forced to move around a lot, but he's got the tome. He'll be able to catch back up soon. And it looks like they're giving Somnus the tome in this one. Maybe we'll be the one taking it from his team. He probably just feels like he got set back a little bit too much versus that Dazzle. Sure, they don't have their Rubik level 6, but he'll probably be able to buy the other tome soon. Yeah, really prioritizing having that gyro off to a good start in that early game. Probably because they want to be able to farm. Like Tide Hunter, not really that one who can run around and make plays too much early on. Sure, you have Ravage, but your gyro is that main driving force of your aggression on the LGD side until the later stages.
Sure. And even though his farm might not be great, as long as he can have Arme in the front and he's able to get out all his spells, the magical output of the gyro at this point is still something that VP have to be very wary of.
Absolutely.
You just have to make sure that they can get past Arme and get on top of Somnus. He is still vulnerable at the moment with that lack of farm that he could find in middle. Top lane, space is there. They'll take a tower. Arme's farm continues to skyrocket as he hits 6k net worth at 11 minutes in.
Looks like Ramsey's still going to be going for that Linken's first item. Probably the Linken's into the Aghanims in this game, as the panel was mentioning. Such a good Aghs game, as he has that Earthshaker on his team. But the Linken's very good versus those instant disables, in particular the Rubik.
Roger. Again, he's coming with the wraparound onto mid, looking for FY. FY has got the heal stolen.
But the poison and the Arcane Curse, he's ticking away. Goodbye.
They got him. A lot of damage over time, as you say. Those two spells, a bit of a nightmare. For FY, at least the Ogre won't care too much. He's a little tankier, but anytime FY gets caught out by those two.
They're trying to take advantage here of the slight time that they expect the Brew ult to be down, but Brew ult's going to be back up in about 5 seconds. Pasha does have a TP. He's setting up immediately. Defense of the mid tower.
And again, Roger. He keeps blocking LGD off. They keep coming over to VP's half of the map and they can't get back to their own. X-Nova's trapped. Roger himself, can he get away though with the telekinesis from FY, dragging him back into the missile combo. Stuns out Roger, he's still alive. LGD cannot get the trade kill as Arme tries to move forward, but all the damage over time is a pretty sizable heal bomb until Limpin Ramsey's looking for Arme. Arme's dead, double corrupted challenge. It's a 5-man Ravage, but is there the follow-up? Sticks a pop. VP, they're back up to full. They'll collapse immediately onto Somnus. They'll get themselves another chalice, will be able to escape. But VP, they are outplaying and coordinating these team fights to perfection.
Such beautiful rotation. I mean, Roger is just coming in so clutch for his team. That wraparound, again, he even gets put in the front lines, and he survives during all that. They don't have the damage because of how underfarmed the gyro is. Look at Maybe in the game. He's bottom 5 net worth. They don't have the damage for when he's in there.
And that's the second time that LGD's fallen for it. They're sending 3 heroes over the river, and it's as if they're forgetting that there's a Shaker in the game.
Such beautiful plays there by Roger. And yeah, like we said, too tanky for him to even go on. Ramses turns into the Morphling there, or turns into the Gyrocopter. Sure, they get double stunned, but at this moment in time, they're way too strong.
It's a bad call from LGD to try and stick around for the fight. They feel confident because they have the Ravage.
Yep.
But at that point, Ame's already dead. There's no way for them to follow it up.
He's not ready to fight just yet. I mean, he's got the Phase, he's got the Midas, pretty much has the Echo Saber now finished, but there's a lot of ways to control him, as we said, from that side of VP. This early game aggression coming from this Dazzle, from this Brewmaster, from this Earthshaker seems to be a bit too much for LGD to take right now.
I mean, if LGD want to fight, they've got to do it when they know there's no split. They know there's no global. This is that little bit of an opportunity, but it is hard because Chalice chose to try and commit to that last fight with the Ravage.
And we saw too, right? Like right when the Ravage went off, we saw Solo pop the global before he gets hit by it. So there's no follow-up. Even though in that instance there probably wasn't.
There was like no one around anyway.
But yeah, just you see what the plan is, why they wanted that silencer.
Still, the net worth very close due to the fact that Ame, even though it was taken out, was able to get back onto the map, and with that Midas finished Echo Saber, he can keep that farm pace up very high. The gap is being closed between himself and Nolan and Ramses. It's both the Morph and Dazzle race to get on par with the Sven's farm. And if VP are able to start to gear up and push around this Dazzle and his Necro book, getting those towers, that net worth will swing even further in VP's favor.
I mean, the Necro won, and then he's already queued up the mech. He's going straight for mech, trying to deal with all that damage that can be coming out from LGD. They're going to be able to counteract a lot of it. Not just that, they're going to get a couple timings together, it might seem, here for VP, as the Blink Dagger from Roger is only 600 gold away. And if we look at the initiation from LGD, it's kind of limited until they get that like Blink Dagger either on the Sven or on the Tidehunter, which they both do have queued up. It will take them some time. So Roger could come in really clutch if he's able to get that one at an early pace, and they're giving him the farm. Very close to that Blink. They're all already grouped up. The Brew Split is available again.
And LGD just avoiding VP entirely for now. See if they do anything about this tier 2 tower push. TP does come in from Xnova. But with the push of the Necro book, VP doing a lot of damage to this tier 2. LGD will start to get close to the tier 2 top. Maybe think about looking for a trade, but it's not going to be easy. Bottom lane, Pasha trying for the wraparound. Xnova's already out of there, but the tower goes down for the 16-minute mark. VP continuing to keep the pressure up.
Xnova?
They want to try and dive this. They're going to. Ramses goes straight forward up to the high ground. Xnova's dead. Killing spree for Ramses. TPs will start to now come through from PSG LGD, but VP are able to easily back off, get themselves out of there.
They got what they wanted. They can get an extra kill out of it. They've got map control too. LGD not looking to want to fight until I believe they have those blinks. I think they need some easier ways to set up the fights to just instantly kill someone on the side of VP. VP, when they're all rallied together, they're just seeming way too strong right now. And now the Blink Dagger is already finished up for Roger. I believe it's coming out on that courier.
And it's just the way that VP's playing. I don't blame sort of Brian in the analyst at the start. You know, you look at these lineups and you think, well, the Gyro Sven, they're going to be able to play the fastest. There's a Morph. He's going to need time. But Ramses is actually able to get really active across the map because they have this mid-dazzle. No one's just this force that enables the Morph so early on. It doesn't matter if Ramses is committing, getting low on the HP, because there will be that burst heal and time for him to shift back. He can play so aggressive.
Pasha?
And it's catching them off a little bit. Now down bottom.
They don't have enough.
The split's going to be out. They're going to look towards Ame. They're going to surround him. Another heal bomb for Noah, bringing Ame down low. Pop the war cry.
They left him.
He's been abandoned. They've abandoned him. They know that there's no hope for Ame. As VP making moves there with just the two of them, taking down Ame, the most farmed hero, of course, on LGD's lineup. He just gets shredded by these heroes.
Yep. Pasha in this game, just be able to get how much he got down bottom because of the fissure blocks and everything from Roger. I'm definitely going to be giving Roger a lot of that credit there for that, the setup that's going on for the Brew. He's able to do so much, and now we're wondering, why is Brew not being picked a little bit more? You see how powerful it is. Whenever he has the ulti up, LGD's just booking it. Maybe
apart from
that
one death in the lane, but hey, you know, it's the first time the hero's been picked this TI. It takes a bit of warming up.
Sure. I mean, he still got so much done. And
he is.
With the combo.
He's in the zone now, Pasha.
Yeah, with the Dazzle, it's seeming really powerful, really potent, how much aggression they can really start over the early game and just allow Ramses to pretty much do whatever he wants as Ramses. He's gone greedy. He actually had the gold for the Lincolns, and he's like, find the point booster. I'm getting set up. I'm getting ready for my Aghanims. You know, I'm just starting to prep that. Because I know what we're going to get to in this point, as we see that Dota plus win probability already highly favoring VP. But LGD, they've got their timing now. They've got the blink on Chalice.
They do.
Are they going to be able to find anything?
But at the same time, there's also the potential of the global silence. They'll find Solo, so there won't be a global. Or maybe there will. He's actually still alive because of the fact that Roger's able to throw himself in. Global's out. Roger keeping Solo safe. The heals are there. Chalice will now pop the Ravage on Ramses and will get the ball kill. It's a big one for LGD, but can they find any more? They'll start to move across to no one with a gush. Another curse thrown out by Solo onto both X-Nova and Chalice. They're trying to chase for more here, LGD.
They know there's no Bruce split. That's the one thing. They're playing around that long cooldown timing. Trying to dive.
Pressure on. Looks like he may be a little too deep for them to continue to dive.
Ramses, he actually clicked the Shrine, but he didn't click his attribute shift. So he just gets caught by the stun and dies. If he gets the shift off, he might be all right just there.
Chalice taking quite a beat down here from VP.
He's got the constant dispels going.
Roger! He finds Roger! Roger was trying to sit at the backlines in the river, looking for a potential to get him with the Blink Echo, but Arme finds him.
And how quickly the tides have turned.
Oh yeah, with Ramses falling like that, and Arme and Somnus getting involved in these big kills. The slight gold difference swings back in LGD's favor.
Now you have to be wondering if how painful that point booster picked up by Ramses was. Instead of having a Linken's in the fight, he would have had it finished. He had the gold when he went to go purchase it. If he gets punished for his greed. As not only just that gold lead swing, you see the experience. It was 2K in advantage for VP. It swings heavily up toward LGD.
Let's see how the gold swings here around these runes. Bounty rune wise, LGD, they've got heroes set up, down, bottom. They're going to be able to get the majority of them. Oh no, wait, it's 2 for 2.
Super 2.
2 for 2. Pasha was able to get both of those.
The bottles sometimes confuse things. But they have their Bruce split
It was
available.
3 for 1, right? Yeah, it was 3 for 1.
3 for 1, you're right.
Yeah, the bottle confused
I saw an illusion.
you. Yeah, confused me as well. Made me question myself. But yeah, they manage to get the majority LGD.
Yeah. Now they can go into this Roche pit. They have their Bruce split. They know that LGD does not have their Tidehunter Ravage or that God Strength, actually.
How long? Yeah, still a bit of time to God Strength.
Yeah.
Can they still try and push VP out of the pit?
Still sitting around the area.
Anyway, if they could time it right and get him with the stuns.
There's 15 seconds without God Strength, but they have BKB on the spot.
Poking Chalice, he'll jump in to get the vision, stun out to Ramses. Now the primal split comes out from VP, and now it becomes a lot harder for LGD to get close to the pit, as Pasha will be able to hold the team away and get that space for Roshan to fall and Aegis to be claimed by Ramses.
They might look for a fight anyway, though, on LGD, because they know that there's no split available. Chalice is committing forward. They're going to have Ravage. They're going to have God Strength and BKB on the Sven. They want somebody here.
They are committing far. You have to be a little wary of Roger having the Echo Slam available, but Somnus is ready to go in underneath the tower. Stuns out from Arme. There's the God Strength, the shallow grave, keeping Roger alive. They'll try and get Ravage. It's a 5-man Ravage. Jumps in. Echo Slam's out, but he does nothing at all. The BKB's out from Arme. He'll turn over towards Noah. The stun control from X-Nova isn't enough. No one finally uses. They've got the damage. LGD, they get both. As Chalice sees the perfect opportunity. He's not even done yet. Jumps in for another anchor smash. Keeps the pressure on VP as they're pushed back away from the tier 2 tower. And despite getting the Roche, getting the Aegis, they lose the following fight and they'll lose more map control.
It's the little things, right? Chalice just blinking into the pit there initially, giving vision, causing Pasha to kind of be like, oh my god, I actually need to split for this situation. Allows them then afterwards, they know they have the way advantageous team fight versus VP when they don't have split available. Chalice with no fear. He's playing versus that lineup where he's like, they don't really have ways to burst me down as a Tidehunter in this game. With this hood available, he can just freely jump in like that. And yeah, like you said, the beautiful 5-man Ravages we're going to see again here.
I mean, it looks like maybe they'll lose a couple, but indeed, Chalice in the perfect position, even tickling Solo on the edge there. Every single member of VP caught out by that play.
And Pasha, you can tell he was like, I'm not liking this fight too much. He was even starting to TP out. Someone made the call, though, to try to keep it going, and they ended up losing a couple heroes there.
It doesn't get more perfect than that for this Tidehunter. 5K lead off the back of those plays. Roshan gone wrong, but not in the traditional sense. With VP still managing to be the ones getting the Aegis, it did not matter.
Still gonna have, now they're gonna have Bruce split available again, so like we're seeing, it's gonna be back and forth whenever these long cooldowns are off for VP, them looking to bring the fight. And they're pretty close to that Aghanims on the morph too, so he will also be pretty scary when he gets that. As we see that shift at the 18-minute mark, a 70% chance for that Dota Plus for VP. Now all the way to that 50-50.
Roche is not always the answer. So LGD making that play. Not a play you always see, only so the top of the top teams would make that.
Yeah,
to go in aggressive after the other team gets Roshan and Aegis. Normally it's okay, they've got Aegis, we've got to reset. They're keeping the pressure on, and LGD, they're straight back in, looking for the next fight already.
Going for the big wraparound, but the scan comes out from VP. They think they got a slight vision of Ame there for a second there when they were trying to get the wrap. So you see LGD, they're trying to get the wraparound, get the back lines. Even though they're playing into the Brew split there, they're looking for the Earthshaker. They're looking for that Brewmaster.
No,
trying to catch
it's just every time that Ravage is back up,
yeah,
they're instantly looking for action. No slowdown in play from PSG LGD, and this is starting to be the tempo that the draft panel talked about. This is what you expect from this lineup. Gyro, Rubik, and Sven ready to fight more than ever at this 24-minute mark.
And double BKBs at the ready, so they're feeling a lot more careful versus this VP side. VP just, I think with this Aegis, this is like the farming Aegis. Just get the Aghanims on that Morphling so they can start hopping around as that Earthshaker inside of the fight's getting into the back lines onto those supports. But LGD, they're staying in unison. Every single one of them playing around each other, all grouped up and out down bottom as 5. Got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left on that Aegis. As LGD, they want these bounties.
VP want to try and force this fight here. They know the LGD's got the numbers, but they do have that Aegis on Ramses. There's the lead in. Next over, get the stun. Ame just got Roger's dead. Pasha will get the ult out in time. Will send Ame up into the air. Chalice is able to get in and claim the bounty route.
You have to back away though, Pasha. That's a fully defensive split. He can't stay there. That's the other thing too, is the Brewmaster. We're talking about, like, sometimes, we haven't seen it in a while. Versus Gyro and Sven, sure, you can dispel some stuff, but your Brewlings die very quickly to the combo of the flak plus that cleave coming out from Sven.
And Roger's got to be careful. We're seeing a couple of times where he's the one getting jumped on the front lines. They need that Shaker to jump and go. Without the Shaker, there isn't that instant lockdown. There isn't that initiation, really, from VP's lineup. They have to make sure that Roger's able to get his spells off.
They're really starting to hemorrhage just a bit too much here, as it's that 7K advantage. And LGD, they're getting all these bounty runes, too.
Oh, they are.
There's still one chilling up top.
Climbing.
It's 3 bounty runes for them. The 4th one is still waiting there, so able to keep increasing that lead, and the Aegis will get reclaimed. But I believe that Ag's Morphling is online. We'll see what VP is going to be able to make of it.
Let's see if this is what they're missing. The last few fights have been disastrous for VP.
It still feels like they need their BKBs though too. Like, they've got this Ags on the Morphling, which is fantastic, but there's just so much magical damage and control that's really coming out from LGD's side. Fear of what a Rubik really can provide, even though FY hasn't been having like the greatest steals or anything like that, just getting the instant lifts or breaking some Lincolns.
I mean, what are the big steals that FY's looking out for?
Fissure.
Yeah,
Fissure's probably the biggest one. Brew split, of course, but you're not likely to get down versus Drunken Brawler unless you immediately get the lift off before as soon as he gets out, which you can do, but
and by that time the fight's probably over. Yeah. Maybe it helps you chase for the cleanup kills.
Yeah, I would
turn a bad fight even worse for VP. With that chase potential.
Still grouped up though, VP now. Ame shows his face.
He is out on his own. Go into the trees. We'll go for the TP. Roger.
He's just going to get stunned up.
He's trapped in there, but VP a little scared. They're aware that there could definitely be quick reactions. PSG are starting to come over, but Ame was still relatively alone. VP just didn't know. They didn't want to make the mistakes they made earlier and try and force a fight straight up. Now they'll go back with the smoke.
They didn't have any information.
They've drawn the attention. A Solo, he'll head up to the high ground. Blink over from Chalice, catches the vision of Solo. It's going to be focused first. Fisher comes out from Roger. Trying to keep Solo safe. They've got to make sure that both Solo and Roger get the chance to
Here's that Axe.
Get their ults out. They'll commit towards Chalice. Chalice has the Ravage. Ready to pop. He's holding on to it for now. Ramses into the Shaker he goes. Chases down X-Nova. They're pushing PSG back up to the high ground, but it's still hard for VP to find the jump that they hope for. As PSG, they know exactly what's waiting for them on the low ground.
Yeah, and the Ags Morphling, you know, it's strong because Ramses is really high level, but you also want your Earthshaker to be high level. You need him to have that max enchant totem for it to really become that super powerhouse. So only 2 points still for Roger, only level 11. He needs to find himself some level so that they can actually start using that power of the enchant totem.
They know themselves, VP, they're still not quite ready to take a full 5v5. It's not easy.
Ooh, and look at Ame's pickup here. A little bit, not really super unorthodox, but the Orchid now for that Sven as well. Multiple different ways to catch Ramses. Yep. Ramses gonna be in trouble. Not only just Ramses, Pasha as well. Brewmaster hates playing versus silences.
Flank. Nice little escape back to base. He's got the stick charges and the heals. He's been buying a Fairy Fire on the way to make sure that he's not going to get burst.
He's like, I died to that damage over time before, not again.
He knows how much it hurts. But absolutely, you say with that Orchid, there's still a bit of time where Ramses hasn't got that BKB.
Yeah.
He's got to make sure he's got it ready as soon as they'll see that that Orchid's out.
A lot of different targets they can go for it. Pasha being one of those main ones, like I was saying, that silence. If he does want to throw it out, a bit too close to the base though, being a little bit reluctant.
VP just trying their best to split the map up. Now you know that LGD is playing as a unit now.
Roger. He's getting stalked here by Ame. We'll be able to back off. So 30 seconds, we're going to have these bounty runes coming out. LGD, they've got creeps hitting the base. They're actually forcing a reaction to the base right now, so they're going to look to make an aggressive play. They're like, all right, Silencer just went top. We can definitely look for a fight right now. With a full butterfly finished up on Somnus. They're jumping for Ramses.
They managed to break the link because they're in with the silence. The global does come out. He did manage to shift before the silence came in. So Ramses has got enough HP to be able to waveform back out of there. Pasha is going to start to fight back with the primal split. Surrounding X-Nova, Somnus with the flak. Will start to kill off the Brewlings very, very quickly. Pasha's got to be careful. Ramses for a challenge onto the backline. They found Roger. Amazing with the damage. Roger's dead as well as Ramses. There'll be a buyback from Solo. Sorry, Ramses and Roger. It was Ramses and the Shaky even and now they get Roger. They got both of them. It's a triple buyback from VPs. They'll try and turn.
Oh my god.
But that, I mean, I got baited. I saw a Shaker die. I was like, Roger's there. I was like, no, hang on. That's Ramses.
He's getting caught off.
Ramses at the start of the fight.
That Orchid, it's really catching him off guard there.
It looked like Ramses was safe for sure. He built up all the HP, but he ends up back in the middle of the fight as the Shaker. And he dies straight away. They're
really starting to run away with this one here on PSG LGD. They buy back on X-Nova. They're like, let's just bring the fight to them. They don't have anything available. Roger, sure, he's got Echo Slam,
but... This is a risky play from VP. It's not a quick Roche. They're trying. They've used 3 buybacks for this attempt.
Chalice is in immediately.
I don't know if VP can get away with this.
Doesn't look like it. They're jumping forward.
Ramses is trying to fight, but he instantly gets stunned. Oh, it's on top.
The Echo. He
whiffs the Echo. He did not get the blink off as VP. They've got to back off.
Oh my! He had it up too. I had him clicked on. It was not canceled. He just didn't get it off there.
Ramses going in again. He has to be careful though when he's the Shaker. We saw him get tripped up in that mid lane, and now PSG LGD are holding on to a mighty 12k gold lead.
And that was VP buying back 3 heroes trying to get something, just desperately trying to get anything out of it, and they can't. This Orchid, Ame, purchasing this was just causing so many problems for VP. They're set up here for the fights, but...
he needs that BKB, but really again, it's still back to that point where he's only halfway towards the money. It's going to take a lot more time. We'll see this again from Roger. He said nothing cancels this.
No, look, he just echoes the floor. It was still on
cooldown.
It was still on cooldown. Okay.
So maybe it was just still on cooldown from before.
I guess it must have still been for a second. All right, when I clicked, it looked like I must have clicked it a second later.
Because he didn't look at it like anything canceled it. I think maybe just in his mind he felt that the timing was there, and that 15 seconds was still ticking down.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a lot of momentum. I mean, look at this, like Somnus, he's super farmed out. Pretty much all the important heroes on the side of PSG LGD, they have the farm. While on VP, they're really starting to fall behind. That mid game, that early game, that Dazzle, sure, no one, he's 4-1-4, but it's a Dazzle now at this point. It's starting to become very hard.
Just finding 3 kills across the map. Solo trying to push out that top lane.
Uh-oh.
I mean, Solo must have known that that was going to end in death. I guess at least trying to use his life to make sure that the lanes are pushed out. It's more kills for LGD. It's only 11 to 10, but just the fact that the kills have meant that much more. The buybacks have heavily set VP behind, and the farm rate of Arme's, Sven, and Somnus's Gyro is just at a rate that's very hard.
Yeah.
It's really team to keep up with as a whole. The difference between the supports are there as well. Space is there, easy Roche, easy Aegis for Somnus.
It's really telltale that VP has only gotten 1 kill in the last 16 minutes. How aggressive and how dominant LGD really has been around this mid game. Look at that one ticker. They've gotten an Ogre Magi kill in the last 16 minutes. Besides that, it's been only LGD just cruising through, finding every single fight that they want. Pretty much right when I had said that I think Brewmaster was looking pretty good and why haven't we seen Brewmaster, it just completely shifted the other way around.
It's a game against a Sven and a Gyro. Two of the best carries in the game to kill those Brewlings.
Yep.
It's not easy for Pasha.
They've got the BKB now on Ramsey, so he's going to be feeling a lot safer. But there's still so much damage now, and now at this deficit, do they even have the damage to deal with LGD's draft? As the BKBs, like we said, are ready. They've got their Aegises as well. And Chalice now picking up more items too. Has the Mac, gonna be going for Greaves too. So a lot of mitigation gonna be coming out for PSG LGD. They do have Roger also hitting level 14 now for VP, so in relation to Ramses, he's gonna have that max enchant totem. So yeah, double bloodlusted cores on PSG LGD. Two of the best, like you were saying.
I mean, is there a chance for VP that this morph could be the game-winning element? Is the sort of the morph shaker interaction strong enough to win a game when they're 15k down?
They have to get some better forms of initiation. Roger, having such a solid early game, has not been able to find almost anything after that. Just seems like PSG LGD always seems to know where he is in the fights and catching him at the start. VP. They will look to set up for bounties. Pasha, though, he's very far up and alone.
He's out of the game immediately, walking to his death.
They want more. But they won't find.
Just have that BKB Ramses, so a little harder for them to catch out.
They're not really splitting up much versus this Morphling. So when I have seen, oh, next Nova though, they're jumping forward for him.
Gonna try for the quick kill with the waveform, and he's have to try to get a bit more. Is he trouble? Roger's gonna buy him some safety as he jumps in with the Echo. Will popped as well as VP will try and chase for another. They're blocked off Chalice with the Fisher. Very tanky. Tanky enough that they won't be able to commit and stick on him. Chalice is able to walk away. So buyback from Pasha. And again, it's just the Ogre dying. They cannot find any of the big kills.
And that was an Echo Slam committed too. And they only get that Ogre. Now a full Aghanim's finished up on the Gyrocopter as well. Ramses. Considering going for something here, there's still the BKBs available though. He's just in.
All of the big heroes are here for PSG LGD. VP have to hold back. There's no way that it's in their best interest to try and find a fight, and they will back away.
So some of the times when I have seen these Ags Morphlings with the Earthshakers, what ends up happening is one team starts splitting up, and that's where the Morphling really starts picking himself up. Because you get the one-by-one kills constantly, you get these massive amounts of experience. But PSG LGD, look at this, they're all just grouped up. They know how strong they are. They still have their Aegis available too. They're trying not to give VP any little type of breathing room at all.
They're playing phenomenally as a team here.
Oh, is he trapped? Oh, he's gonna be able to move out of that? No. Kind of stuck. He'll get out of it. Chalice.
Oh, Arme.
He's in position.
Chalice again! He's in with a Ravage. They've got the center. The Grave does come out in time to find some safety for Ramses. He's back into the ball. Will jump away. BKB popped by no one. BKB from Arme also about to wear off. So despite Chalice getting a big jump, this time VP won't have any casualties. They'll get everyone back to safety.
Actually, nobody dies from that. He lands like a dream Ravage in the backlines, but they're able to disengage.
They've got the items now, VP, having those BKBs. The Linkers and the BKB, of course, on Ramses. They can play their way out of it.
But do they have the damage is the question. They're going to be able to disengage, but will they actually ever be able to look for kills, setting up onto Somnus and onto Ame? It's seeming extremely difficult here, as Chalice always just seems to be in the front lines, not really taking too much damage. And immediately we'll blink away from Ramses. Yeah, they're just so tanky, and they're really all just starting to pick up more and more items. FY, quiet game, but you look at him trickling up on that net worth. He's ahead of Pasha on the Brewmaster. He's got a Hex queued up. We're already talking about the problems for Ramses getting caught by these stuns, by these silences. If they do ever get that, definitely going to be a really hard game for the Morphling.
Yeah, but the butterflies on both cores as well. Yeah. Ame and Somnus.
Oh, Ame also finishing one up too.
He goes for the butterfly.
Selling that Midas. Not wanting to pick up an AC. He just wants to get this instead for his team, as he's going to be able to have that 1-to-1. No one really going to be able to bring him down too hard. The enchant totem, though, from the Morphling, you know, you do get that true strike. Which
you do, right?
That'll be one thing, but...
Which sort of makes it like, well, why the butterfly? We do see, obviously, butterfly
it's such a value.
sometimes.
It's just such a value
The
item.
attack speed.
Yeah.
The edge, a little bit of armor that gives, I guess. And, of course, with just everything else that's going to be trying to hit him in the fight.
Yeah.
The splits, the summons from no one.
Strength heroes, like, even like dating back forever, it's always been like, I want to buy a butterfly, but you sometimes you just don't have the slots for it. This time he's feeling super confident. They have a 20k gold lead. VP starting to trickle their way out forward here. What can they find?
Ramses. He's going to try and look for the opening. They get the push on the two, but he's in on the back. Two-man spot. In with the gold strike. Silence is dead. Will be able to save Pasha for a little bit with that shallow grave, but he's silenced, surrounded by Somnus. Pasha's dead. No one taken out. A sentry's in position, so they'll kill him off through the Glimmer Gate. As no one bites back, and Ame finds him hiding in the trees. Roger, as this is just getting very, very nasty for VP. Every single fight, every single play. I mean, poor old X-Nova, he's taking one for the team this game.
Oh, for sure.
He is the only guy that's died on LGD's lineup, it feels like, in the last 20 minutes, right?
He is the only one who's died in the last 20 minutes. Yep, 3 deaths for the Ogre, unable to find any kills.
All working to plan. The Ogre Magi strats are real here. And it's absolutely working for LGD.
Hey, he's doing his job. He's bloodlusting
really
in the fights, and then he dies. They're like, all right, X-Nova, great job. As, yeah, they're really starting to, I mean, they have been running away with this one for about 20 minutes now. VP unable to really find any breathing room as Ramses. Stepping up, his BKB just comes back up.
Whoa. Just gotta be careful.
That was a little scary.
It's gotta feel rough for VP. I mean, they've only killed the Ogre. They cannot kill anyone else, it seems, on PSG LGD's team.
Oh, look at this, too. A bit of a, quick easy kill there from Ame. Bit of an unorthodox build. Another Basher being built up on a Gyrocopter after the Aghanims. So some more control for that Morphling.
I mean,
they're probably feeling themselves.
They're feeling it now, PSG
Definitely.
LGD. They know. 40 minutes in, 27k advantage. 25's coming out as well. Can VP swing this game around? They're running a lineup that has that Brew off lane, this Dazzle mid. I feel like sort of these heroes, their time in the game, it's kind of passed.
It passed
it's
a long time
all
ago.
on the Morphling.
Yeah.
It's all on Ramses.
It's a full 4 Protect 1 that in the mid game got completely outran here by LGD.
And
They've lost their timings.
I mean, if they can hold and keep it up, is there not going to be a point of the game where Ramses is like, well, I need to start building right click and screw the Shaker. I've got to become the Jara.
He has to. I mean, he has to get the Manta as well, though. That's the problem. Is if these silences and this control is just too much.
He's not investing yet. So do you think he's thinking, well, let's get a right click. Let's get some damage items.
But what would he get? That's the one thing I'm trying to think. What's the solution? What right click item?
Get Rapier, become Gyro, bam.
Still very difficult. They're so tanky, right? Even then.
You've got the Grave. You'll always get the hits off.
Got the Grave, yeah, that's true.
You'll always get the hits off. I think he's thinking about it. He's still not spending, maybe because he wants both and buyback.
I do believe
I know he's got the recipe anyway,
yeah.
So he is going to continue with the safety route, get that Manta done, and make sure he's got the money. He's just 200 gold short. So.
Oh, Courier.
Should have the... Oh, no, that's his Manta.
That's the Manta.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got buyback, but he is going to be short of that Manta style for 3 minutes.
And they've already been unable to really kill anybody besides the Ogre, like you said. A DD route.
All right. I think PSG LGD is gearing up for the finishing blow to VP in this game 1.
They have a Hex on the Rubik as well, like I was mentioning. So those instant disables, we're going to have to watch Ramses if he's going to be able to get that BKB off before he gets caught. Pasha as well as Roger, both playing on the left side there. Ame already pops the God Strength, ready to go.
And
He's jumping in.
Solo's dead. Ravage is out. It's going to catch up to Pasha, who's held at the back. Silence to make sure that Pasha cannot get in. Roger, he's trying to poke from the backsides with the Fisher, but LGD just pushing in, taking the range rack's fortification. It's only going to last so long as they'll wait it out. LGD finish off the entirety of the mid lane of Rax. Ramses is going to look for the jump forward. He's trying for X-Nova. Poor old X-Nova. But this time
They gave him the cheese.
They gave him the cheese. They gave him the cheese. X-Nova will be able to stay alive with the boys this time. He's not dying today.
That was one of the cheeses, I believe, because they still have the second one, so yeah. And now a full refresher as well. I think they had a refresher shard as well, right? I think they must have used it before.
X-Nova. He had the cheese. They prepared him.
Not
They
this time,
prepared him
it
for
says.
this push. They made sure he took his dinner with him. As now they can't even kill the ogre.
No, they. All right. Well,
I mean,
now without the cheese. Maybe they'll give him another one. Do they give him the next cheese? No, they're gonna keep FY.
But the mentality now, they've tried to kill the ogre. They can't even kill the ogre. As this lead just continues to go. And I feel that we've seen VP in this situation quite a few times in the group stage. And game 2 hasn't gone a lot better after game 1's been this rough. A lot of the games in the group stage where VP did lose, it was very one-sided, very stumpy in this game. For the 20 minutes onwards, it has been. Chalice is in. Ravage catches onto Solo and Ramses. Ramses, he's trying to play his way up back into the Shaker. Will be able to get the 3-man Fisher and jump away. They're kiting up LGD for now. X-Nova steps forward, throws out a fire blast, frees the pop. They're back onto the structures. Another tower taken. This push isn't going anywhere. LGD making themselves feel at home inside the base. There's the second Ravage onto Ramses. Burst down, X-Nova. He's going to get the kill. A beautiful comeback story from the Ogre this game. From dying every team fight to taking out their carry. As the racks are down,
That's gotta be.
GG
Yeah,
well play. It's a win for LGD, it's a win for Ogre Magi. As VP, can they come back in game 2? I don't know if they can. This has been less than ideal for them to open up on the main stage, but for PSG LGD in front of the home crowd,